Welcome back to the Who's James. We talk everything Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. So now we're going to be talking about the Canadian men's roster that has been called up right before World Cup qualifying. Once again, they have games reminder against, I believe, it's Honduras first on the 27th. They go to Honduras. They do go to Honduras, and then they come back to Hamilton, play the U.S., and then they play El Salvador. It is the right way. I think the U.S. I said it wrong, but I think it was either way. I think I got it right in that one because I was kind of reading off of it. Just like I think I got it right in this one where Canada will play Honduras first in Honduras. Yeah, because it's the opposite order of last time. So Canada will go to Honduras, then they'll come back home and play against the U.S. in Hamilton, and then they'll travel back to El Salvador. So this time, Canada's got the away games, or more away games, rather than last time it was the U.S. that had more away games. So they kind of flipped the script here, and so Canada will be on the road for this window for the majority, and this would be crucial to try and win and steal points. As once again, they have to at least get a tie, and at home against the USA, especially with the squad they called up. It's going to be really hard to do it without one of your key roles, which, by the way, that's bad news if you guys haven't heard of it already. Alfonso Davies is not going to be with the squad as, he had something COVID-related, a heart condition, actually, an acute heart condition. So it would take him about 3 weeks to recover, which unfortunately would not be in the same time span for this window. So unfortunately, Canada's going to have to make do without him. But this is also a big time, as I said many times on this channel. Sure, you lose a key player, sure you lose someone, but that should not be an excuse for, why you shouldn't have good performances or why everybody else shouldn't step up and at least try and get a result. So hopefully, given these games, I'm not going to use that Canada didn't have Alfonso Davies as an excuse if things do go awry, but that is a key factor, but still, these other players, hopefully we've got enough firepower for everyone else to step up and fill his shoes, and just everybody's gonna have to pick up a part of him. His speed, Tajon Buchanan as well as Kyle Laren or whoever's gonna be playing. They're gonna have to make up for the speed, as well as David's gonna have to really just take this one by the throat. And so, big loss. Alfonso Davies will not be a part of this squad nor a part of this window. Maybe in the last window in March, but we can only find out as time goes on. So, without further ado, now we got that news out the way. And you probably guys, I know you guys heard about that. And, it was all in the news last week, and it was really, really big letdown, and just really saddening to hear for all the Canada soccer fans, And also around this time too, a lot of people, a lot of countries, this is the time to prove them wrong. A lot of fans are really laughing and really saying, "Oh, Canada will be nothing without Alfonso Davies, right?" So now it looks like it's perfect time if I'm Canada to prove these haters wrong. If I'm these players, I would step up and really just give it to them, right? Get a result in Salvador, get a result in Honduras, and even get a result against the USA. That would really say something, for all those non-believers out there and haters. So if I'm Canada, I'll say this is the perfect opportunity to do so, and that would just be a big laugh in the face, and just what a way it would be to respond to. So for all that laughter and all that doubting that everybody keeps giving, Canada, unfortunately, they're still not given the credit they deserve, and that's still sad. But hopefully, should they do good this window, hopefully they'll keep earning that respect from other countries. I don't know why other countries still don't see Canada as a big time or on the rise. Not big time, but at least they're on the rise to become a big time team. I don't know why fans are still not recognizing it, but hey, as they always say, you gotta prove haters wrong, right? People are always gonna keep doubting. You just gotta keep winning. That's how you shut them up. You gotta keep winning and getting results, and just keep proving them wrong. Eventually, they'll go away, and they'll give you your respect. But in the meantime, you have to earn it. So, on that note, here are the list of names. About a 4-minute ramble there. Here's a list of names that Canada has called up into their camp. In the window as well. One new name on here that really interesting to know about, and I have to do obviously my research on them, but we're gonna get to that in a minute. Right now, let's read off the names. We got Samuel Adekube, Milan Borjan, Tajon Buchanan, Lucas Cavallini, Derek Cornelius, Maxime Crepeau, Jonathan David, Stefan Estacchio, Leon Frazier, Christian Gutierrez, which is the name that I was talking about that he's new on here. That I'm definitely have to really do some research on him about and find more about him. Donnell Henry, Junior Hoylett, Atiba Hutchinson, Alistair Johnson, Mark Anthony Kay, Scott Kennedy, Kyle Laren, Richie Larea, Jason Lutwiller. Great to see him in there. I really haven't heard a lot from him. Leon Miller, Kamal Miller, Jonathan Osorio, Samuel Piet, another also key defender. Ike Ugbo, welcome back Ike, and Stefan Victoria. So those are your names, for the Canada roster. Obviously, Alfonso Davies, but a couple big time or a couple new names. Of course we got Ike Ugbo, which when I show you guys my makeshift squad, unfortunately FIFA didn't have. They either had players out of place or they didn't have any a card for that player. So what I'm gonna do is you're gonna see like an edited kind of word box or text on the name of the player that's supposed to be in that spot when I post it. So, but before I get to that, obviously a few names that stand out here. Starting with Christian Gutierrez, new one for me. I'm definitely gonna have to find more about this guy. I just really hope, especially with the likes of Alfonso Davies being gone, that he is one of those X factors, right? One of these people that, one of these players that everybody, really doesn't know anything about until all of a sudden he has an explosive game, and all of a sudden, he makes up for Alfonso Davies or helps contribute to the absence. So maybe he is an X factor here. I mean, you got a number of potential X factors here that can potentially pick up the slack for Alfonso Davies. Ideally, it would be the whole team, though, but who knows? Some of these individual players that may get playing time that I've never seen before, they could have something to them that could influence his game. You never know. Obviously, Ike Ugbo, he played a little bit in last window, and he had a few shots. Obviously, he's still trying to work his way in, and by the way, he's still young. So hopefully he'll get some playing time. Maybe he'll even score a goal. Who knows? But I think other one I want to talk about is Jason Lutler, and then I'm going to talk about one name I'm really shocked on here that I'm not. I mean, it's surprising, but at the same time, I don't think they're ready for him yet because he's still trying to recover. But here is Jason Willer. I haven't heard much about him. Hopefully, he's on the rise, and hopefully, he can also pick up a slack and become an X factor in this as well. So that's another player we got to keep an eye on. Good to see quality defender Samuel Piet in here, as well as a couple, Alistair Johnson, and basically, yeah. But there's a lot of names on here that I'm kind of shocked not to see, like Jacob Schaffelberg. I thought he looked pretty decent for TFC, but maybe I guess things are still on the rise, or he's still trying to find his feet. And of course, Io Akinola. Recent news says he is recovering slowly but surely from his ACL tear last year. He missed out part of all of TSC and, of course, so far with the Canadian national team. But rumor has it that he'll be back soon enough, and he's getting closer and closer day by day, which is always good to hear. So I'll be delighted once I'll see him back in the mix. Maybe he'll be in March, whenever they have the final qualifying window, but we can only find out. But, yeah, Jacob Schaffelberg, I thought he looked interesting for TFC, but in his place, we have a couple of new names, right, that are here. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do here. But other than that, I don't really see any other names that stand out to me. You got you got David, you got Lucas Cavallini, Derek Cornelius, Tejan Buchanan, Arakube. You got your for the most part, you got your basics. But the big key absence here, which is obviously the elephant in the room, is the absence of Alfonso Davies. And Canada's really going to have to try and make up for this in a big way. And, yeah, it's going to be huge. But, other than the names, here's a makeshift squad I kind of made. Obviously, as I said in previous Canada video with the lineup, that FIFA doesn't have all the Canadian cards. But hopefully, as the talent queues rise, they'll get their names more out there. But in the meantime, I did kind of substitute with either with the ones they had, or I'm either gonna put their name, like for instance, the keeper Maxime Crepeau, not Maxime Crepeau, Milan Borjan. his name is definitely going to go in the keeper spot. She's going to see a text in the box. But, obviously they had Vancouver Whitecaps keeper. So if I really wanted to, as I've done in the past, I could have made a makeshift squad out of the players I was only offered. But I said, you know what? I could just slap a text label over the spot and just say, hey, let's just pretend that so-and-so is here and in my lineup, right? And then you got another guy, too, at the top, which you're probably looking at him funny, like, wait, why is an English player based in a Canadian lineup, right? Well, this is actually supposed to be Ike Ugbo, but FIFA hasn't changed his nationality yet. He was born in England. He grew up playing with England, but then recently only made the switch, so I wouldn't be surprised. They're probably not going to have it until FIFA 23. Honestly, when they might change his flag, or they might just leave it for, I don't know. I don't know how FIFA works all that out, but at the moment, yeah, it says he's English, but he is actually representing the Canadian national team, so he is in this lineup for me. And yeah, you got David up top. I'm just gonna start from the top bottom. David up top. As I said, Ike Ugbo there. Kyle Laren on the others right. Hopefully he has to have a big window. Kyle Laren has to step up for me. If I'm playing him, he has to, especially with Alfonso Davies being gone, he has to have a good window. If he doesn't, things can quickly go south. It just shows how big of a factor and important it is for Alfonso Davies when he's part of this team. And now with he's gone, this really shakes things up. So those three up top. I don't know if Ike Ugbo is going to start, but it's definitely going to be. I don't know how John Herdman is going to do, but he's definitely going to figure out a way. Me, honestly, hey, I'll give the kid a shot, but obviously, I really, really doubt he's going to play this lineup. This is my win, this is my lineup. This is all theoretical, so, some of it is possible, some of it is obviously not ideal, but, hey, it's a lineup, and this is what I would do if I was in this case with the players that we have. And then, of course, this was a hard part. I had Jonathan Sorio. You can also put guy who transferred from Mark Anthony K. Recently transferred. I think he's been bounced around from team to team. But you could have put either one of them here. I honestly chose to go with Jonathan Oso, given his performance in a couple of last games and World Cup qualifiers. I think Oso would still be a great addition. I really think he's gonna, and he probably will most likely be one of John Herdman's go-to guys as well. So I think Oso is definitely going to make the cut in Herdman's lineup, and I think he definitely makes a cut in mine. For me, although you couldn't go wrong with playing K. It looks like he's got some speed, so him and Buchanan obviously on the wings or in the compressed mids, that could also cause a lot of havoc. But honestly, you can't go wrong with any of them. Man, even one comes off the bench, still going to be powerful. Of course, in the middle, I got Stefan Eustáquio. Herdman's go-to guy. Stefan Eustáquio, he's just always been that guy, which has always showed up every single game and really just is able to get stuff done no matter the circumstances. He did it in Edmonton against Mexico, and he also did it, in Edmonton as well against Costa Rica. Even though he had a more influential game, obviously, against Mexico, he's always just been that guy that Herdman can trust. Right, so I definitely believe that he might make this cut and Herdman's cut as well. And then, of course, another guy who will absolutely, positively, most likely make the cut for Herdman is Tajon Buchanan. Once again, he is the speed demon, and why would you not play him, right? That would be really, really funny or silly if you did not play him, because especially with his recent move, he's going to Belgium from the New England Revolution, so. He's already getting top tier talent. Hopefully, if he hasn't started yet, he will be. But either way, you have to have him in this lineup. If you don't, that's just obviously a big "what are you doing" moment. So, but I think Herdman will do the right thing and just play him in this case. So you can only find out. My mids you see is Oso with Eustáquio in the middle. Obviously, Stefan Eustáquio might play more of a center defensive mid role in this case, especially with the likes of Alfonso Davies being gone, a key defender lost, as well as a key attacker at the same time. So it looks like Canada, I won't be surprised if they played more of a 4-1-2-1-2 formation instead of a 4-3-3, which I always typically do as a generic lineup. instead of the 4-4-2. But obviously, I think Canada might go for a more defensive role, a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow probably in this case. With Alfonso Davies being gone, especially against the United States, they'll just be trying to settle for a draw and maybe see if they can steal one, when the chance is there. But for the most part, they'll just be playing very conservative, especially with Alfonso Davies gone. And it just really hurts. I mean, I can't stress that enough. It really hurts. But, I mean, it is what it is. As I said, you have to make do with the players you have in front of you. No excuses. Everybody, no matter what, has to step up. So, and of course, with Buchanan on the side, those are where I would play in the center. And probably Hertman would agree too. But we can only find out whenever those get released. And then close to last, my back line. So I have Richie Larea on, right back. Of course, TFC, you have to do him. He's looked really well. And I think he's also making a trade also to Europe as well. So good for him for getting developed. Henry in the center. Henry's always been another one of those reliable defenders, just like Eustachio. So hopefully they can keep their good work. Kamal Miller from the Montreal Impact, as well as in the center back. I think you can easily make a sub here for someone else, but I think Miller might get to go here, and I'm just curious to see what Hertman does here. But then, of course, Samuel Adekugbe at the left back. For John Herdman's go-to guy, as he's been in the recent World, in all of them, as I can remember, World Cup qualifiers, and most likely for this one as well, too. So, for me, that's my back line. You got Samuel Adekugbe as a left back, Kamal Miller from the Montreal Impact in the center, Donnell Henry, also in the center, but obviously one of the go-to guys, and then Richie Larea. You'll most likely play either right back or left back, depending on how Hertman wants to use him. And then finally, in the keeper is Milan Borjan. Maxime Crepeau, obviously FIFA had his card, but Milan Borjan here for obvious reason. I mean, Borjan here is obviously seemed like he is the main go-to keeper and probably will be for further notice. James Pantemis, he had a shot for a while. He might still be in the running, but obviously Thomas Assault is kind of still out there, but not as much influential. But I would not be surprised to see Milan Borjan play all 3 games here, especially when it comes to his hometown in Hamilton, which is not too far from here. And, why would you not want to play in your hometown against, especially the United States, a rivalry game? So, for me, it's obvious. It might be too obvious, not to pass up Borjan in the net. So, that's my theoretical starting lineup. We'll see what John Hertman plays on the field. Once again, as I said already, massive loss with Alfonso Davies, but what can you do? You have to step up. Everybody's got to step up and play bigger roles, and there's no room for excuses here. You have to still get the job done, no matter what, as I said many times. So we'll see if they can live up to that, but we can only wait and see. So for that video, this is it. If you like this, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends about it, and tell all your friends, Alfonso Davies.